Hey you guys, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you back. A lot of you guys have been asking me to do kind of a walk around video in my yard, kind of my own little carnage video. You guys follow along with auto auction rebuilds. You know all about the carnage videos at the Copart. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll do my own little carnage video. Why not? I got plenty of old cars around here sitting around. Let's check them out. Apologize for the wind noise. Hopefully it won't be too bad of an issue. If so, I'll just reshoot this thing later on this evening. Good news, got a brand new lens. A lot of you guys were commenting about the lens having a smudge on it, and guess what? You're busted, man. You obviously been fast forwarding, or otherwise you would have seen that I addressed the issue and that it was actually a chip in the lens, not a smudge. So I expect you guys to go back, rewatch the video in its entirety. Here's this old girl. This is the one Randy picked up from Copart the other day, and I'm happy to say it's actually sold already. Customer's going to come pick this up. They left me a deposit the other day, so they're going to actually come pick this up as soon as the bank opens. It's Memorial Day weekend, so their 3-day weekend, it's closed. But this one sold really quick. We'll let Randy go over the numbers with you on his channel, but she's out of here already. It went really fast, and did really well on this one. I'm pleased to say. Here we've got my old dually pickup. This thing here was really sweet at one time. It was a daily driver. I drove this thing every day. Actually, to be honest with you, my wife drove this every day. I had my own dually that I drove. We had his and hers dualies. They were both on airbag suspension. Mine was body dropped and bagged, so it laid rocker panels on the ground. The thing was sweet. This one here was just bagged. It lays frame on the ground when you let the all the air out of the suspension. Pretty cool little deal. Just a basic bag setup, nothing fancy, you know, but it's all homemade. We did all this ourselves. We didn't buy any kits or anything like that. We just wasn't in our budget. It was just a basic bag job. Gets it down on the ground. And the cool thing about these airbag suspensions on these trucks is you might think, oh well, you lowered it to the ground, you ruined it. No, man, I'm telling you, this truck, you could use it for whatever you needed to, just the same way as it was factory, even though it did set down low to the ground. I mean, that's not even laid out. This thing actually lays frame on the ground when it's completely aired out, and at the same time you could still use it just the same way you could back when it was factory. A little dirty inside I mean, this thing has been sitting for years. I don't drive it anymore. Gas prices went up to over almost $4 a gallon. This thing got parked, and you know, as life does sometimes, you know, it throws a few little things at you here and there, and next thing you know, your focus has been shifted to other things, and that's exactly what happened here. So this truck just kind of fell by the wayside and just been sitting. Still runs, still drives, but it's going to have some things done to it to get it roadworthy again. And actually, I've come up with some other plans for this one. It's got the 454 Vortec in. I mean, it runs like a dream. AC, everything. I mean, low mileage. Let's see. Let's get an exact mileage on this thing if we can. It's 107,000 miles. Hopefully y'all can see that. So, fairly low mileage for its year. But I got big plans for this one. And I'll show you guys. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I'll show you guys what I'm planning on doing. Why not? Over here I've got my 64 Chevy pickup. I've had this truck since I was 16 years old. My little brother, who was about 12 at the time, actually found this truck for me while he was riding his bicycle down through the neighborhood. And he came back, he was all excited. Mike, come on, go look at this truck. You got to see this truck. Well, I went and looked at it. And I traded my 1979 Chevy pickup for this truck. And I didn't even have a job back then. I was just a kid mowing lawns. And it was a little car lot, little rip-me-jip-me, buy here, pay here car lot. And they let me have this thing for 40 bucks a week to pay off the difference. And I did just that, and I drove the crap out of this truck. I've changed the front clip since then. It used to have just the Chevy front clip with the dual headlights. Now we've got the 4 headlight GMC front clip, which I like the looks of. I think it looks pretty cool like that. It's got airbag suspension on it as well. So what I'm thinking is I'd like to take the body off of that and put it over on this frame, just the same way we're doing the hard body. Let's see what we got. Our some of you guys have probably seen the 1970 GMC that we're working on. We've got a freshened up 350 small block that's going to go in there. But first we got to get in here. We got to clean all this up real nice, get it all painted, make it look really nice. That's the plan. We're going to do that before we drop the motor in. We've got her pretty cleaned up. I mean, this thing was a grease pit, but we got it pretty well pressured off. We'll get in here, clean it up some more. This is a clean little truck though, I'll tell you what. Very good shape. It's got good patina on it. There's the hood for the GMC. As you can see, it matches the truck. Got great patina on it. Got tons of exhaust. This is one of the perks of working in a body shop for so many years. These cars would come in with just the slightest little, like something like this. Can you see that? Something like that, and the insurance company would replace the whole system. So I'd bring these things home. I mean, look at these, man. These are good pipes with no rust, and catalytic converters all over the place, mufflers and exhaust tips. Stuff comes in handy. Some more mufflers and things like that. Now we have got our work cut out for us on this girl. Kind of wish it was still that color. I like that. Oh well. Guess that's its original color. All the jams and everything are that color. Still got a little carnage here. Check this out. This thing's seen better days. Wow. She's hit all over on this one. I don't think there's a spot on this car that didn't get wrecked, to be honest. Just about. I mean, look at that. Even the back wheel got bent on this one. I don't even know why this is here. Probably gonna end up hauling this thing over the scales. I mean, there ain't nothing in there I want. Look at there, somebody cut the back of this headrest out for, I don't know. We might use some seats out of it for a future project, who knows, but probably just end up hauling it off. Then we got the old body style Chevy pickup here. This is a run and drive. Had a little fender bender on the front over there. We put a new fender on it. What's up, Bernie? It's my guard dog. So we got ourselves another little F1 Nifty out here. This one's in great shape. Minimal rust. It's got the 302 in it. I believe it's a 302. I might be lying to you. It might be the 351. I'll have to double check on that, but I think that's the 302. Check out the snake. He thinks he's all snaky. That's a good little truck. It needs a transmission put in this one. We've got one. We actually got a couple of them sitting in the back, and one of these days we'll roll this thing out of here and do a tranny swap and see if we can't get her up and running again, because that's a good little truck. That belonged to my wife's grandpa, who passed away, I want to say around 10 years ago. And we'd like to keep this truck around and do something with it. Something besides letting it sit back here and rot in the weeds, that's for sure. So that'll be a future project. We'll get that in there. We'll get to messing with it before too long. I know some of you guys are probably yelling at the screen, like wanting to see this old red 65 over here. I keep kind of skipping around it and teasing you guys and all that good stuff. Well, here it is. This here is a 65 Chevy pickup, short bed. And the special thing about this truck is it's been chopped, channeled, and sectioned. Those of you who don't know, I mean, I'm sure most of you know what a chop top is. Well, we took 3 inches out of the top. A section is where we took 3 inches out of the body as well. Kind of squished the truck down, basically, is what we did on this one. You know what? I didn't do it. I bought it off a guy that did it. And the guy that I bought it from is actually the old man that taught me how to do body work. And when he told me he was going to let this truck go, I had to have it just because I wanted something that he did. It was special to me. The man, he taught me how to do body work. He got me started in the auto body industry. Without him, I don't know where I'd be right now, to be honest with you. So when he told me he was going to go ahead and let this one go, I had to have it. And one of these days I will finish this truck and take it to him and show it to him. I think that'll be great. But yeah, this thing's awesome. I've got a short wide bed here, saving it for the 64 pickup I showed you earlier. And then this one here will be a step side. So I'll have one of each. I'll have a step side and a short wide. I think that'll be cool. This is another fine example of a rust-free Oklahoma truck. You know, I mean, it had its usual little bad spots, like down at the corner of the door, which isn't a big deal because we actually have to cut that off anyway to finish up the sectioning job. But other than that, this truck has no rust other than surface rust. This here's a shooting truck. Just a couple more payments and we'll own her outright. This here is my 1962 Farmall 460. This thing is a beast. Got the old tricycle front end. This thing, I tell you what, I've let this thing sit for 2 years one time. Never fired it up once. Went out, put some diesel in it, and it fired right up, no problem. I never have to worry about this old girl. She always fires up, always when I need it. Got my custom exhaust on here. Check out the size of that pipe. Woo! Yeah, she's a beast, but unfortunately she's down right now. She's got a flat tire, and I've replaced all the tires on this thing except for one, and it's the last one that needs replaced, and they are very expensive. I've already had to put a new rim and everything on this side because the old one was rusted out. Very pricey, hard to find. So she's just been kind of sitting, waiting for me to get my shit together so I could fix it and use it. Because and this is why you don't wear flip-flops out here messing around. Look at that. Ow. I'm definitely gonna have to go in the house and get the old lady to check me for ticks. That was bad. I already had 3 of them crawling up my leg already. That's alright. That's kind of the best part of roaming around out in the yard like this, is getting checked for ticks later. There's my old Mopar. The green one's mine. It's a 1972 Plymouth Fury Sport 3. Mouthful. I love the looks of this car. It's a tank, man. Green is a perfect color for this thing. This thing is a tank. I like it, man. I think it's cool. It's a great car. It's in a good shape. She's been sitting for a little while. A little surface rust, that's all. The roof on this thing is the worst part about it. The roof is in horrible shape, and I'm not sure what my options are just yet as far as a roof panel goes. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're not making them. If you, man, any of you Mopar guys out there, let me know. I need help. This is my first Mopar. I've always been a Chevy guy. Sorry, that's just the way it was. But I want to venture out, man. I want to broaden my skills, and I've always wanted an old Mopar, and I think this is going to be an awesome project. Now, this thing has been sitting for, I want to say like 6 years. I do come out here from time to time and clean all the leaves out of it. I got a few leaves over there. It's going to have to get taken out. I stretch my extension cord out, or my air hose out here rather, and I blow everything out, and I try to keep this thing free of all dirt and debris and leaves and sticks. Keep the mice and things out of it. So I'm hoping that all I got to do is come out here and maybe clean it up a little bit and put a battery in it and see if she'll fire up. We will be doing a will it run video on this car soon, so stay tuned for that. We're going to get some tires on it, get it to where this thing will actually move around under its own power. The interior is completely shot to hell. Dashboard's toast, but the headliner is perfect. What's up with that? Perfect headliner in this thing, but the rest of it's junk. Seats are gonna have to get redone. It's gonna have to get new carpet. Door panels are decent as far as this all goes. Of course, it'll need the new armrest and that and this bottom part. But I mean, look at all that. I mean, it's not split and tore up or anything. It's all there. None of it's missing, so that's great. I don't know if I got the keys in here. No, I don't have the keys in here. I'll open up the trunk for you. She's rough, as to be expected, but she's all there. That's very important. So I can't wait to get started on this. I think this thing's gonna look good with its ass dragging on the ground. I love them low like that. If you're not into that, I understand. Different strokes for different folks. I bet we could still sit down and have a beer. I promise you that. If you like them lifted up, if you like them stock height, that's your business. I happen to like them down on the ground. I think they look cool that way. But hey, doesn't mean we can't be friends, right? This thing is in good shape. It's all there. Nothing missing off of this car except for the carburetor. Engine's there. Zero rust on this car. Floorboards are in great shape. Everything's there. And I've always liked the body style of these cars. I like that stubby little sawed off rear end it's got on there. I just think that looks cool. I don't know why. I like that. I think it's awesome. These things have a good shape to them, in my opinion. This car has no rust holes at all, and I intend on keeping it that way. So we will definitely get in here, drag this thing out of its hole that it's been sitting in for the past year, keep it moved around, keep the grass away from it, keep the varmints out of it. Like I said, I'll come out here with an air hose and I will clean this thing out. All of its, I like to pop the trunk, and I like to get down in these, under here, blow all this out, because stuff likes to get in there. Stuff gets in there and collects, and then it holds moisture. As most of you know, it's very common, and that's where they start rusting out because of that. So I like to get in there and keep all that out. Gives me something to do, keeps me busy. But this is another one that would be a great project, and this car is for sale, you guys. Anybody wanting one of these, come and get it. It's all there. You're looking for a car that's all there, an old Javelin. This is the one, man. This is a V8 car. I wonder if I get the hood open on it. Show you guys. This thing, it's all there, man. There's nothing missing except the carburetor. Let me see here. Bear with me. It's going to take a couple hands. There we go. Jamming crisp. There she is. Like I said, man, fully intact. Everything's there. It's got the radiator. It's got AC, power steering. Only thing missing is the carburetor. Absolutely rust-free car. You know, it's got a little rust in the, little rust right there where the battery goes, but that's common. But otherwise, man, no rust on this car. Everything's in great shape. So if you guys want it, come and get it, man. I'm sure we could strike up a deal. Make me some offers on it. And here we got my fleet of dump trucks. This is what I use to maintain my driveway with. Some of you guys were wondering whatever happened to the old Jetta. This was Tim's car from TJ's Auto. Tim, Randy's brother from Auto Auction Rebuilds. My two boys bought this old car. He sent it down here for me to sell, and they were like, hey, we'll take it. So they took it. They split it. Both of them driving this car to work and back. And it's been doing great. I cannot complain. They got a few little things that they want to do to it to try to make some improvements on it. Number one, they got to put some window regulators in it. Replace the mirror on the passenger side, stuff like that. Just little things. That's all this thing needs. Just small little things. We're not going to worry about the paint, I don't think. But stuff like this, we could definitely fix with a little trip down to the old wrecking yard. And they plan on doing that. And they might be starting their own channel soon. That'll be cool. Keep your eye out for that. Alright guys, you didn't think I was gonna get out of here without showing you the old Barracuda. Got a 68 Barracuda here. Save the best for last, right? This car is very special. This car's been in the family for over 40 years. It belonged to my father-in-law, and unfortunately he passed away back in March. He was a big part of this family. I mean, he was this family, you know. And we would love nothing more than to do something special with this car. It doesn't have a motor transmission in it right now. It was a V8 car, or is a V8 car. We've got an engine and transmission for it. We would love nothing more to get that thing in there and make this thing a runner. So keep your eye out for that on the channel. We would love nothing more than to build this in Anthony's honor. That was his name, Anthony. Big A, as we called him. Great guy. Going to be very, very missed. There's a good little story with this car, and hopefully maybe we can get it on the channel. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Money's a little tight right now. I'd hate to get started on this thing and then have to push it to the side due to lack of funding. So it may be a little ways off still. We'll see. But this is definitely something we would love nothing more than to get this going in his honor. We'll take a look at her. Let's check her out. She's in good shape. You know, got a little road rash here and there, but I mean, come on, dude. This is a survivor, you know. It made it all these years. Of course, it's going to have some bumps and bruises, right? We're trying to keep the sun out of it the best we can. The dashboard is in perfect shape. I mean, there ain't a crack on it nowhere. And we like to keep it that way, so we try to keep it covered up best we can. Of course, it's going to need some upholstery work. That seat is fried, which is weird that the passenger seat tore up and not the driver's seat. It's usually the other way around, but I don't know. The headliner's in great shape, other than it got split at the seam, so that's actually repairable. We will be fixing that, getting it back up in there. This car, the floorboards are in great shape. Nothing's rusted out. No rust holes in this car anywhere other than this little bit back here, which I believe is savable. I think I can do the same thing with this as I'm going to do with the Fury, which is just come in and patch some of that up so that it goes away and it doesn't continue to rot out further. But as far as replacing the whole quarter, I don't think so. I think she's good. I think it's totally savable. Not a big deal. I'm gonna try to lift the hood on her. But she ain't got an engine, so you ain't missing much. These old hoods are hard to get open once they've been sitting around like they have. Let's see. I think I need I came out here the other day and sprayed a bunch of WD-40 all over this thing. Oh, sweet, it worked too. Bear with me on this camera. My camera girl, I don't know what the hell she's doing, to be honest with you. She ain't helping me, I tell you that. Let's see. Here we go. Awesome, there we go. Alright. Got a little surface rust under the hood, but I think we can stop all of that. Nothing's ate through yet, but we're at a critical point with this thing. If we don't do something with it soon, stuff like that's just going to get worse and worse to the point that we're going to have to replace the hood, and that kind of sucks, man. I would like to keep all of its original panels with the car. I mean, that's cool when you can do that, and it's kind of rare because normally by the time you get to these old things, people have done robbed parts off of them, or they've sit around out in the weeds for so damn long that they got holes and everything, and the next thing you know, you got mismatched panels all over your car. And we don't have that problem with this one, and I'd like to keep it that way. So we will be dragging this one out, mowing underneath it. This right here, that's not good. You can't have that. That stuff holds moisture, and you're just holding moisture onto the car. Can't do that. So like I said, we got a ton of yard work to do around here. That's all right, we'll get it done. So there you have it, folks. There's your little walk around video. Some of you guys were asking for it, and I thought, hey, why not, man? I don't mind showing you my old junk out here. I got plenty of it, that's for sure, and we'll be getting more. That's just kind of how this business is. You messing with these old used cars, you're always getting junk all the time. So that's kind of why I'm trying to haul some of this old junk off, just to make room for the new junk. But there you go, man. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just kind of my take on a carnage video, I guess, or a walk around video, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget that notification bell, you guys. You got to be notified when I'm putting out a new video, right? Check out my Instagram. We'll put a link in there for that, of course, as always. And we'll see you guys next time.